Hi guys, I'm Sparkmaster Neon, and this week we're talking about the path to success is forged by fire. So, normally, this is a Tuesday video, I would have a friend sitting with me and we'd be talking about it. But unfortunately, the friend I was planning on talking about this with told me that he felt like he was not an inspiring person. You know, like me, he fights depression and he feels like he's not qualified to talk about these things, and no matter what I say to him, I can't change his mind. So it's perfect for this week, ironically, because it's the path to success is forged in fire. Life's going to give you ups and it's going to give you downs. You have to be ready for them and you have to be ready to overcome them. And even when they catch you off guard, you need to know, hey, you know, let me find a way around this, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay, I don't have a friend to film this with. That's kind of the thing, but in reality, Tuesdays are about discussing the topic in depth. So what I can do is I can, you know, take the plan, the questions I was going to ask him, and apply them to a singular interview type thing. So this week is the path to success is fueled. The path to success is fueled by fire with me, Sparkmaster Neon. So yeah. What it means to me is that life's going to give you ups and downs. You know, everything worth fighting for, you're going to have to go through the gauntlet of flame and face the trial of fire to get. Because the most rewarding things are things you work hard for, the things you work hard to obtain, and the things that, honestly, sometimes it sucks to fight through, but when you get it, you feel good. You know? Like, a time other than now, and the fact that I am in a constant battle with depression and I don't have motivation unless I really, really push through, is a time where I faced the gauntlet of flame and I came out on top. Was in high school, my gallbladder went bad, and for two or 3 years, I mean, I had constant nausea, and it was only getting worse, and I knew I was sick. And I mean, it was to the point where I couldn't attend school. I had doctor's notes saying I had to, you know, be homeschooled. The teacher would come to my house and they would teach me and all that fun stuff, right? But doctors were telling me I was fine, that it was all in my head. And then they'd send me to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist would say, no, it's not in his head. He's legitimately sick, you know? And it was back and forth for 2 years. And just eventually I was just like, I know I'm nauseous, but am I? Like, is it really in my head or not? I don't even know anymore. I'm like, all I know is that it's increasing, it's getting worse each and every day. But I have to fight through it because I honestly believe that one day there's got to be a way. There's got to be a time where I will eventually feel better. I just had to have hope. I couldn't give up. And it was probably the hardest fight I've ever had, fighting against myself and thinking that maybe it wasn't actually real. Maybe it was all in my head, and things would never get better because I wasn't thinking I was sick all the time. I mean, I just felt sick, so I knew I was sick, you know? like you do when you're sick. It's like, I don't feel well, you know? But eventually they did find out what was wrong with me. My gallbladder was working at 13% efficiency, and it was causing me to be sick all the time. So I had it removed, and within a couple weeks after recovery, I was feeling a lot better. And I still have times where I do get nauseous periodically, but it's not all the time anymore. And it's usually when I eat something I shouldn't have, like my main diet of chicken, pizza, and hamburgers. And gallbladder helps you digest greasy foods and red meat. So naturally, I'm doing it to myself. But hey, why should I not enjoy what I eat because I lost my gallbladder? I'm not gonna torture myself because I've already been tortured long enough. I'm going to honestly eat what I want to eat because nausea's nothing. I've dealt with it for years anyway. I might as well keep going. Periodically, not all the time now. And I've built up resistance anyway, so why not? So that's a time where I faced the gauntlet of flame, where I faced absolute, complete negativity in its purest form. I honestly just thought maybe it'd be better if I died and then I wouldn't have to deal with this anymore, take all my pain away. And that's not a good mindset to have naturally, but it was something I had to overcome, and I did. And it's something that I'm better for overcoming. Knowing that I'm not crazy. I'm not this dude that's just making stuff up because I don't want to be in school, because I don't want to interact with people. It's because I was legitimately sick, you know? It kind of helped me learn to trust myself a little more. And that's the thing. life gives you ups, it gives you downs, and it's about learning from those ups and downs and moving forward. Everything you do is going to have its own ups and downs. It's going to have its own trial by fire you have to overcome. Some worse than others. Sometimes the fire empowers you, sometimes it brings you down and burns. But it's about fighting through and coming out at the end. It's like a big obstacle course of flame. And like the phoenix, when it does defeat you and you turn to ash, use those flames to reignite yourself and rise back up. Live a phoenix tale, you know? That kind of thing. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about not selling yourself short. And what that was is how you are the only person holding yourself back. You can do anything you put your mind to, and don't let yourself tell you otherwise. Because if you don't believe it, how can you expect others to? You honestly are capable of anything. And until you see that for yourself, you're only holding yourself back. And this topic is similar. It's similar, but instead of you providing your obstacles, life does. You know, it's like that old saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? But it's about overcoming everything else, the stuff life throws at you. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it's bad. Let's say it throws you a flaming fastball to the face. It's about either catching it in your hand or catching it with your teeth and spitting it out and keep going. Because honestly, you're not letting it stop you. It's about always striving to make it through every hurdle life throws at you, because you can. You can do it. I know you can do it because I've done it. We all can do it. We all are capable of so much. Even if we don't believe it, we are. And I mean, now I want to talk to you about a time I knew I was getting into a big undertaking. I knew it was going to be hard. And honestly, I'm still going through this gauntlet of flame. I mean, a couple months ago, I had decided, well, not even a couple months ago, it was almost a year ago, I decided I was going to start this channel. I decided that it's what I wanted to do. You know, it's about helping people and, you know, inspiring others. And it's something I've always tried to do but never really had an outlet for. And then I realized YouTube was the perfect outlet to try. And so I decided to go for it. Now, I was saving up. I have this big fancy desktop that I built myself. And it cost $3,300, and it took a long time to save up for. But over that time, my manager had decided, okay, I'm going to pick on Andrew specifically out of everyone in the store. He'd yell at me for everything under the sun, including taking pictures of the schedule, when that's something completely normal. He decided he was just going to, I guess, vent his frustration on me. And I let him. I just sat there and took it because I needed the job to save for my computer and chase my dreams. I just kept letting him pummel me down and down, telling me to do one thing and then telling me I was wrong for doing that very same thing 2 weeks later, and on for about 9 months. And I hated life. I hated it more than anything. It was one of the hardest things other than my gallbladder that I've ever had to face. Is just the constant putting me down, the constant pummeling, and I knew I was better, but for some odd reason, every now and then it would get to me, and it was very difficult. It was excessively difficult, and no matter how bad I got, I knew there had to be some light in the darkness. I knew that when I got through, I would have my computer, I'd have everything planned, and I'd be ready to start, and it'd be all worth it. Everything would be all worth it, and you know what? I believe it is. I believe it was. I believe everything I've faced until now has been worth it to get me here. Get me here talking to you guys and helping you guys, and I'm still chasing it in the only way I know how. And that's by shining bright and living a phoenix tale as best I can at all times. Because I can't let others bring me down, and I can't let others stop me from chasing my dreams. It's up to me to make them happen, and it's about rolling with the punches and going and going and going until I get there. Because I believe I can do it. And I'm not gonna be the one to stop myself, and I'm not gonna let life stop me. If life wants to stop me, cut both my legs off, and then I'll come in with a wheelchair and still film, because I'm gonna roll with the punches and go forward and not let it hold me back. You know. And so last week we talked about setting goals, and every goal you set has a chance of going south, and it's usually significant. Not to be negative, but it is. There's always going to be those punches that hurt, but you got to keep rolling with them. You know. You got to anticipate the gauntlet of flame to face the trial of fire, so that way it doesn't burn you as much. So the example I want to use is the example we used last week with Eli. We used we're going to get a new job. You know, if you're trying to get a new job, there's things you need to go for, and, you know, issues that you might have when getting this new job are no one's hiring for what you want. it's worse pay or worse situation than your current job. Or another one you're looking at is unreasonable expectations going into the interview and you can't meet them. It's like, okay, no one's going to meet these expectations because they're too high, so they're not going to hire anyone, right? So some counter plans for these things are to, like, let's say no one's hiring. Okay, no one's hiring. I can't get out of here. What am I going to do? Entrepreneurship. Make your own job. Even if it's as simple as trying a YouTube channel and trying to get to monetization and trying to use it to support yourself. It's making a job. It's starting a business. You're going for what you want to do. And then you don't have to worry about someone hiring you. You have your own job you're making. And it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. But you have to keep going for it if that's what you truly want. Another thing, if it's worse than your current job, would be to take a lower position than your current job in order to rise higher. Like, let's say you're at one retail place and you have all these, let's say, pay bumps where they increase your pay because you've been with them for so long. But this other place is a higher base pay. And if you work with them for the same amount, let's say their bumps are higher. So you're going to be getting paid more money the longer you're there than you would at your current job. So, yeah, you're taking a lower position at first, but eventually you're going to be making that much more. You just have to be willing to stick to it. And that's another way to kind of, it's like, okay, this job's worse, but it has higher benefits as I go. That's another way to think, okay, maybe I just need to take a step down so I can rise higher. You know, sometimes you have to, like a phoenix, you have to fall in order to rise, right? You can't rise from the ashes if you never become ashes, right? Another thing is if they have unreasonable expectations. You can't go into an interview thinking, oh, they expect this, this, and this of me. Just go into that interview. Be yourself and at least try. That's the best thing you can do. Because, you know, you shouldn't be trying to sell yourself. You should be trying to be yourself because that's the person you're going to bring to the table every day, is you. You shouldn't be hiding who you are. You should be embracing who you are. And by bringing yourself into things as yourself, the best version of you that you can be, all you can do is try. And then you can't regret it because you know what? You were true to yourself. And yeah, I think that covers the path to success. Like, no matter what happens, there's going to be difficult times. There's going to be easy times. It's about rolling with the punches, facing the fire, and going through. You know, you just gotta go balls to the wall, run through it. Who cares? You know, let it hurt you. Get through it, come out on top, and you'll feel great. And you'll have what you truly want, and you'll have what you truly deserve, which is to be happy. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, there's two options. There's personalized, where you'll be notified periodically whenever we post in a personalized basis. And there's all, which is every time we post something, send you an email and be like, hey, Neon just posted something cool. I know personally on my personal account. That's what I do. So every time I see it and it goes, hey, Sparkmaster Neon posted content, it's like, yes, it uploaded properly, you know? But just some suggestions if you want to see whenever we go live. It's like, I mean, I know we post Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, every day, every one of those days at noon. And if you want to just test your luck with that, you can. But if you want to hit the bell and make sure you see it, go for it. Another thing is we have social media. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And all three of those are in the links in the description below. I would also like to hear interaction in the comments about, you know, maybe there's some trials of fire you face and you want to share. Or, heck, go to social media and comment on one of our old things, you know. The more we interact as a community, the more we can grow up with one another, and the brighter we can shine together and rise up like a phoenix. Anyway, I'm Sparkmaster Neon, and as always, shine bright and live a phoenix tale.